So we kick off at 6:05. Started recording. Hopefully we take it from there. Rasak, have you joined in yet? Are you in? eBay, are you in? Start in 5 minutes. Oh, Rasak, you're in. Great. Jake, you in? Okay. We're starting 5 minutes, guys. Just getting a few people to join in. So I've posted the agenda items that we'll just be touching on, and anyone who it's an open forum. So if anyone has questions, by all means, please ask to it. And if anyone feels they can answer or are an expert rather in subject matter, by all means do so as well. I brought some people who are active on our investment group and strongly enlighten us on many things to do in terms of investment. I think Gidolfo is here. Rasak is here. Bankole was supposed to bring someone as well who wants to talk. And if there are any others, if eBay is around as well, I know eBay works in the or has worked in the stock exchange, so he can happily advise us as well. Please, if you Judy, if you're here, can you unmute your phone and just say you are? Rasak and the others.
I'm here, Samson.
Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome kickoff in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, good evening all. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Can you hear me, Samson?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening,
awesome.
Rasak. Yeah, and thanks for joining. I know you've taken your busy time off to.
It's all right, man. No worries.
Yeah. So I think a few more joining, and we can take it from there. 3 more minutes. We start 3 more minutes and we kick off. And the first agenda item we'll be talking about in 3 minutes will be the stock market knowledge and engagement. So basically the stock market, how does one start? What does one do? How much do we need to start with? And so on. So I will kick off in 2 minutes, and anyone who is an expert in terms of the stock market or wants to explain, by all means do so. And anyone who has questions, just type it, and when the person is finished speaking, you can raise your hands, or you could just unmute your phone and mention it as well. So in 2 more minutes we start. Just waiting for everyone to join in. This is recorded based on those who couldn't join. Have specially asked that we record it. So I will be recording and obviously posting on our YouTube channel as well. So we'll kick off soon. Next 1 minute. Also, for those who want, please introduce. Just introduce yourself as well, so we know who you are, what you do, and if it's a question, if it's an answer, go ahead. So we are starting now. So the agenda item, the first thing is the stock market, knowledge and engagement. Many people hear about the stock market. Obviously, there's a lot of money being made in the stock market, but I've had a lot of questions of how do I start? What do I do? How much can I invest in? Is it quick gains? Is it for the long run? What's the best advice for getting to the stock market? Does anyone want to answer that? And if you do, please introduce yourself so we know your background.
I'll give it a little first go. Hello all.
Okay.
My name is Razak. Some people know me as DG. I work in cybersecurity normally for a fashion company, but a few years ago, after seeing my neighbor walk around in t-shirt and shorts for about 3 years, I had to ask him, I said, what do you do? And he told me he was a trader. And he kind of put me onto this. So when it comes to stocks, I'd say I'm someone who's more of a day/swing trader in the markets. I trade stocks, that's equities, forex, commodities like gold and crude, and I don't know. I've got about I guess now about 4 years experience in the markets. It's been a bumpy road, but we move. So Samson, hopefully that's enough of introduction.
Yes, that's good. That's good enough.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of grown-ups on the course, so I'll try not to spoon feed too much and move things along. So your first question was, what is the stock market? I don't know. There's plenty of people working in the financial industry could probably have a better description than I, but I would just describe it as the stock market is a place where people come together, right? So that's whether it's just individuals or institutional players who come together to carry out business, that is to trade, money for goods, money for money. It really depends on what they're selling, to be honest with you. That's ultimately what a stock market is. Most people know the stock market as something like the FTSE or the Dow Jones. Those are indexes or indices. They are used to give a picture of the overall health of, for example, the FTSE 100, the top 100 companies in the UK, or the S&P 500, top 500 companies, or the Dow Jones Industrial, which is something similar, but weighted towards more, it used to be weighted towards more kind of industrial type companies, people maybe in steel, manufacturing, electricity. That's basically what that is. In terms of whether you should get involved in it, yes, I think these days, outside of a 9-to-5 or a specific 9-to-5 hustle, it's one of the, I don't say guaranteed ways to make money because there's risk in everything, but it is definitely a way to make money passively or with relatively low effort. I just want to say, someone's got some very nice music playing, but maybe they can turn it down.
I will try and mute everyone else.
No problem. I appreciate the music, but
Sorry, Rasaka, I muted you accidentally. Can you mute yourself? Apologies.
No problem. I hope everyone can still hear me.
Yeah,
like I said, I'll try to keep it moving. So if you get involved in the stock market or forex, the terms are kind of used to mean the same thing nowadays. Someone says, "Oh, I trade forex." Sometimes they might not. They might just trade equities totally. But it's definitely worth getting involved. It is not somewhere to come for quick money. You can, yes, come in and make quick money. You can hit it big. People that trade in crypto, especially in recent years, have made substantial sums in a very short amount of time. But typically, it's a long haul. You've got to be in it for the long haul. It is a marathon, not a sprint, especially if you want to manage your risk effectively and not take unnecessary risks, aka gambling.
Shopping, drinking, eating, and in the case of the Coker family, enjoying
Sorry.
time with friends.
Sorry, hold on. I'm just going to mute. My
I'll hold.
apologies. I don't know.
Holiday. They don't like it. But it's a sacrifice.
Somebody's got the news on in the background. Maybe they could put themselves on mute. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, so yes, long story short, definitely put your money in the stock market. How much do you need? I think it depends on where you are. I know in America, for certain types of account, you need to have a minimum of $25,000, depending on what you're trading. I think for the specifics for that, you need to speak to your broker. Generally, sorry, there's still people talking who aren't.
I'm muting as they come in. Sorry.
All right, no problem, sir. Thank you very much. So yes, get involved. I think it's kind of typically the average account which people say you should start with is usually about 10 grand. At least I think that's in Europe. And I know, like I said, it's $25,000 for certain types of accounts in America. I think you could probably start with a bit less, but you should expect that your account will grow a lot more slowly. Obviously, the more money you have to play with, the more you can risk, which means the more you can grow your account in kind of substantial terms that won't make it seem like you'll be doing that forever. What else can I say? Always just bear this in mind. Any money you put into trading, you have to be willing to lose it all. And in fact, if you're a newbie, I can almost guarantee you will lose it all at some point, whether it's in a big splash, whether it's death by 1,000 cuts. We all pay for our education in the markets, and usually the hard way. So if that happens, don't despair. If you're serious about this, you will get to where you want to be. It just takes time, it takes practice, and you'll realize a lot more about yourself by the end of the process than you did before. It's not as simple as buy when it's going up, sell when it's going down, no matter what anyone tells you. There's a lot about your own self discipline, your own perceptions of the world that come to the fore. And usually, for anyone that's an experienced trader, they've learned a great deal about themselves and their emotions and how to put a handle on it. So hopefully that's a brief overview and answer some of your questions there.
Awesome. Does anyone have a question or wants to also contribute in terms of stocks and from their perspective?
Okay. Hello. Hi, Samson. Can you hear me? This is eBay.
So who's this?
eBay.
Okay. Hey. How are you? Introduce yourself and your background.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is eBay. I work in Nigeria. I worked in finance and investments for I think upwards of 10 years.
Oh, sorry. Hello? eBay, I think you're on mute. Can you unmute yourself? Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hi. Okay. So I was saying that so I've worked in finance and investments for say upwards of 10 years.
Okay.
I worked as a fund manager, fixed income and bond fund manager. I worked as a bonds trader as well. I'm based in Nigeria, and my last job was at the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Okay.
I'm currently running an investment advisory service here in Nigeria, and what we're aiming to do really is to make investing simple and accessible. For a lot of people who are just sort of trying to understand investment terrain.
Okay.
So a lot of what I would say would largely cover Nigerian or African markets. So just to put on the just to sort of follow on from what the last speaker said, just also to sort of give everybody and set the context. There's one thing that we should know when going into investing, right? So investing is usually a catch-all term or a catch-all phrase for putting your money into some kind of enterprise and expecting a kind of return for it, right? But there's usually some kind of hello.
You're here. We're hearing you.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
There's it's good to understand a number of things before you jump in, right? So first of all, I think one thing that's important is to know how long you want to be in the game for, right? So like the last speaker said, and I think he's a day trader, right? And day traders largely just sort of go in, in the morning and come out, buy, take a position in the morning and exit before the end of the day, right? And then make your profit or your loss, you move on. Investing for, depending on who you are and depending on how much time you have, you might want to stay much longer. So, there's a term or a phrase that we say like investing is a long-term game, right? So you sort of put your money in there and then just watch it sort of grow, over time.
But I think what most people want to know is, from a beginner's guide, look, I have, say, a couple of thousands or a couple of hundreds, and I want to invest in stocks, right? Boom, I don't know anything. I want to invest in stocks. I've just heard, Tesla, everyone's shouting, they're making money, it's growing. How do I go about it? What do I do?
Right.
What is,
Okay. So again, to really sort of answer that question, right? I mean, so in terms of stock that are not in terms of stock, so again it depends on where you're based, right? So if you're based in Nigeria, for example, and you want to invest in stock like Tesla or stocks that are not on the African continent, so stocks on the US stock exchanges or London stock exchanges, there are many platforms that are available that are coming up. And I saw someone put up a question earlier, what sort of platforms would you recommend? I know some of these ones. I haven't used them personally, right? So you can use Bamboo, for example, Trove. There are quite a few of them that have come up in the recent times. But again, really, you need a mentor in the game, right? You can't just jump in and say you want to invest and then throw in your money and say you hear Tesla stock is going up. Tesla stock could be going up for, it could be that Tesla hasn't paid a dividend for the longest time and they decided to pay a dividend. It could be anything, right? So you need to really understand exactly what you're going into, but you need to also understand your own individual, idiosyncrasies. Why you want to buy Tesla stock? How long you want to be in the game for? Are you buying Tesla stock because it's a penny stock, or do you want to buy a stock because it's a growth stock? You think it's a big company, it's a value stock, it's going to keep growing. There are so many things that you need to understand, and really start from what your own individual situation is, your own circumstances are.
Okay. Any questions, any answers? Anyone wants to ask a question or contribute to what has already been said? Does anyone have any questions in terms of what has been said? If they need any further clarification.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Hosseini. I'm actually calling in from Houston. My question was what was being answered to an extent. Can they please share some platforms that are currently being used in Nigeria for for trading of commodities, for example, forest, bond, and gold? I think that would be helpful to share some links from those who have been using them. And if you have time, also share why you think they are.
So let me understand what you said. So is it you want these applications for these things in Nigeria, or you still for applications to buy stocks in Nigeria, or you just want?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, or generally speaking, like the first speaker said, he's trading in commodities. What platform is he using? If there's one that he will recommend that he's currently using, I think that will help a lot of people so that there's a deliverable out of the presentation rather than information without an actionable plan to move forward. So I think if we can have something like that, another platform that can start off from here, because certainly there's something to gain from their own experience, so that for some people who
that they are just
Yeah, so
2.8
that
million.
it will be easier for you rather than trying to decide which platform do I start with and all that. Like for me, in the US, I've been in the stock
I've
market.
even got a job that they did not record them as employed
What about
because they are underemployed.
What about
Guys, can you all mute your phones,
I'm
please?
underemployed
Yes.
now.
Yeah, so if you are
And
based
those are
in,
the underemployment. Once you are not receiving the salary that reach that's up to the status of your certificate, you're under.
Something, please mute the
Yeah,
person.
I'm trying to mute. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Next time we'll probably use Zoom. My apologies for this. Go ahead.
yeah, so as I was saying, I think, for example, if you are based in the US or you can access Robinhood from maybe the UK and all that, that's a platform I would strongly recommend for a new beginner. For one, they do not charge commission. Secondly, I think it's very user friendly, easy to learn. So I think
Can you type these things down as well while you're telling us?
Yeah.
So Robinhood and
Robinhood, if you are based in the US, so you can just go there. So I think we should also share such platform that we've used in the past. And if you have one that you think somebody like me, I'm looking for a platform that I can use for trading commodities, gold and bond and forex. That's why I asked that, preferably an app so that I'm mobile or a web application. So I think we should focus on that as much as the content of the presentation.
Okay. Awesome. So guys, if all of you can type what you know in terms of applications on the chat, that'll be great. So we can do that. Does anyone have any more questions on stocks? Beginning.
Yeah, so all right, Samson, it's Chibi.
Hi Chibi, welcome. Hi, please introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, my name is Chibi. I work in an investment bank and I live somewhere between Nigeria and the UK. I invest in stocks and I play around in the financial markets. But just listening to the last speaker and then this question that came on, I'm not hearing. I wanted to check if we've clarified, say, the difference between investing typically and trading. So, when we talk about using things like bamboo, which you can use to buy stocks, but when you talk about trading, you're looking at things like execution time. So if you have a broker, say I'll pick a Nigerian example. So a lot of the brokers in Nigeria, you can buy and sell stocks on there, but I wouldn't necessarily call it trading, because in trading, you could be looking at a very short-term market movement. So potentially you want to look at 1 hour in the market. You want to go in, buy a stock and sell in an hour. But if and a lot of the brokers in Nigeria take potentially an hour to execute a trade, say, you can't buy and sell that quickly. And in that case, you're not really trading per se in the way the industry uses